We're here at Torchwood HQ, spin-off to Doctor Who. Here at Pierhead Sessions, we're going to meet people behind the scenes to find out about the new Doctor and what's made Doctor Who such a huge success here in Wales.
Neil Midgley from The Telegraph, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm absolutely fine. So Doctor Who's obviously filmed here in Wales and Casualty's due to sort of hop over from Bristol. What do you think it is about Wales that's attracting all these sort of huge television dramas?
Well, I think the BBC has just decided that a lot of TV drama needs to be made outside the M25, and once you've made that decision, you have to just move some stuff. And obviously there's been some controversy about that. That certainly wasn't a welcome decision in the Bristol creative community. But I think in the session that I've chaired here at the Pierhead Sessions this afternoon, we've established that Cardiff is going to be a genuine centre for drama production, and that people will be able to live here and build careers here and work on a number of different shows. And I think if you're going to decide to colonise somewhere for a creative community, that is the way to do it. Make sure it's done properly and that there's a sort of critical mass.
What do you think is next for Wales? Do you think they'll delve into I know there was a feature film filmed here over the summer, for example. Do you think that it could reach the heights of places like Hollywood and London? Could you see that happening in 10 years' time?
Roath Basin overtaking Hollywood. Well, you never know. I think that's possibly unlikely. But what I do think is that once you have a critical mass of creative talent in a place, then the place will generate its own business. So once you have clever people working here and sparking off each other and meeting each other every day, just on the way to the coffee machine, you're going to find that those people create new projects and that those projects will then be made in Wales. I think what will be interesting to see is if the drama village in Roath Basin will attract people other than the BBC. So whether other companies, whether commercial broadcasters, independent companies, as you say, film companies, will start to build bases here around that, because that would then genuinely make this a sustainable environment for production.
Apart from sort of the revenue aspect, how else do you think Wales could benefit from projects like this being moved over to Wales?
Well, obviously money is very important, and in the current economic climate, it's hard to overestimate the importance of the licence fee being spent outside London, and that really is important. It's going to be important for the local economy here in Cardiff. There is, of course, an intangible and greater benefit to having different people coming in and to having a traffic of people to and fro from, obviously London is the centre of a lot of, not just creative, not just television, but a lot of other creative industries. And to have a sort of toing and froing of people, you're going to find that will spark off, and things will happen around. People want different services. People want the food that they're used to. They want to be able to go to the cinema. They want to be able to see theatre. All of those things, retail, different kinds of shops. All of those things could spring up if there is a new creative community in Cardiff, and it'll be interesting to see if any of that sort of what you might call halo effect in the local economy here actually happens.
Finally, going back to Doctor Who, I believe you've sort of been on set a bit in Adler. Do you think he's living up to the old Doctor Who? Are you excited yourself for the next series, or?
I really am excited for the next series. Actually, I have seen a rough cut of episode 1 with Matt Smith. I have to confess, I was never and David Tennant, if he ever watches this, should not take it personally. I was not a particular fan of David Tennant as the Doctor, not least because I'm old enough to have grown up in the 70s with John Pertwee and Tom Baker in particular, and Peter Davison as my Doctors when I was a kid. I think Matt is more like Tom Baker as a Doctor. He's a sort of scattier, academic, thinkier Doctor, whereas David Tennant was, to my mind, a slightly more funny, slapstick, jazz hands sort of Doctor. And I think that there is a greater depth and more layers to Matt's performance. And also, you know, we've got a new writing team, so that Stephen's scripts have a different humour. It's perhaps a slightly more hidden humour. You have to work harder to get some of the in-jokes with Stephen than you perhaps had to do with Russell T Davies. So I think everybody should be excited actually to see the new series.
Thank you very much.
You're more than welcome.